Hi everyone, welcome to Zenith Workouts. I'm Rebecca Libby, and today it's just you and your mat, and I'm going to try to bring you a whole body workout that we'll try to keep it to under 30 minutes. So let's just keep our feet in parallel to start with. Nice and tall through the length of your spine, open across the chest. And we're going to start by picking up our shoulders. So take that nice breath in, leave the shoulders down and relaxed for one breath. Fill the bottom of the rib cage, the low lungs with air. And on your exhale, just feel the shoulders drop a little more, almost beyond where they normally sit. And then your next breath in, I'd like you to pick up the shoulders. And on your exhale, drop them down. Again, reaching those fingertips towards the floor, dropping them a little beyond where they usually live. Pick them up again. And drop it down. And we're just going to do one more with the shoulders only. And then we're going to add the arms. So breathing in and just picking up those shoulders, making sure the chin doesn't poke forward, the head stays nice and still over the rest of the spine. And then as you drop the shoulder blades, I want you to float the arms out to your sides, keeping them wide and directly out to the sides, not sneaking in front. Bring them overhead. And when you're there, just interlace the fingers, press the palms towards the sky, and do a beautiful side bend, once to your right. Coming up through the center, getting a little taller, really using the strength in that side body as you go to the left. Up through the center. Float the arms down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, the low ribs held back, the head over the rest of the body. And we'll pick up the shoulders. We'll do that all again. Exhale to drop the shoulders, to reach the arms wide and really feel the right fingertips are reaching that way, the left one's that way. You're wide here. Keep that sense of width across the chest as you bring the arms overhead. Interlace those fingers, this time to the left. Up through the center and to the right. Up through the center. Instead of releasing the arms here, we're going to bring them behind the head. Press the head back into the hands and do a nice extension. So breathing in to get wide across the chest, to press the elbows back slightly, but to keep the head heavy in the hands. So you get that lovely arch backwards of the mid and upper back. And on your exhale, you're coming up through the center, bringing the elbows together, rolling forward, and just stopping where you feel that length between the bottom of the shoulder blades and the top of the head, top of the neck. Breath into butterfly open. Exhale to nod the chin. Bring it forward. Breath into butterfly open. Exhale. Last one. But leave the hands behind the head here. I want you to bring the feet together if they're not touching. Bend the knees slightly and keep the knees together here because they're going to help you keep the pelvis still, and we're going to do some rotation. So from your tummy button up, rotating. Good. Squeezing a little out of it if you can. Back to the center and to the left. And if it's uncomfortable to have the hands behind the head, if you have some tightness in the shoulder that doesn't let you get the arm like this and forces you to have the head forward, then just bring the hands to the temples instead, fingertips to the temples, or even have the hands in front of the forehead. Right? You want to push yourself to try to open across the chest, but if it's too much to have the hands behind the head, then you just modify. Perfect. Bring it here, straighten the knees, release the arms, and let's do a nice roll down. Nodding the chin, rolling forward, softening the knees or putting the hands on the thighs if you need to. Beautiful. And at the bottom, I just want you to put the hands on the shins, just below the knees or wherever they're comfortable to land, because I'd like you to move the spine into a flat position. So here we're rounded, we're lengthened, we're strong in the core, and I'd like you to feel like the pelvis stays where it is, but you bring the low back to a nice flat position, the mid back, so that you're going to be in a L here, maybe. I don't know how to describe that. But you're aiming to get the spine horizontal. So the eyes stay looking down, the shoulders are away from the ears. The abdominals are strong to support the spine in this position, because that's a long lever for the spine to support, and the arms are helping. And then I want you to nod the chin and roll it forward. Nice breath, if that felt good. Let's do it again. Hands to the shins, the knees, the thighs, wherever they should land, and just feel extension. You're going to feel maybe some tension or a little stretch in the back of the pelvis, the back of the hips. Maybe feel the hamstrings working. But I want you to imagine the pelvis reaching back, the top of the head reaching forward. And instead of rolling forward from there, you're going to bend the knees and you're going to come to sit in a beautiful squat. Look at that, you're all ready to go. Press it up and come into a balance on the balls of the feet with the arms reaching nicely back to open the chest. Sit back in your squat and come back up. Isn't that nice? So warming up those legs, trying to fold at the hip so that you can keep your lovely neutral spine, and making sure that the head stays over the weight, or the weight of the head stays over the rest of the body. Perfect. Holding this one down. Beautiful squat. And just bring the palms together. And without letting anything move, I want you to open the right arm out to the side. And just try to feel length from the breastbone through the tips of those fingers. Bring it back to the front. And then the left arm. And back to the front. And then both arms. Wide, wide, wide across the chest. Hold the low ribs back. Hold the spine in neutral. Close it up. Good. Press out of that squat just once to come to your balance. Sink the heels, sit back into your squat, and we'll do the other side. So bring the palms together, and your goal is you're in your neutral spine, your center is staying nice and centered. So as you open the left arm first this time, feel what you have to do in your squat to accommodate. That arm is now out to the side, quite a long lever, and then bring it in, do the right. Feel that width across the chest, so the rib cage hasn't rotated, the neck hasn't changed any position. Do both arms here. Good. Hold the ribs back. The chin is tucked gently. The abdominals are strong. Bring it back to the front. And then sit a little deeper into your squat. And you're going to focus on the ribs staying back and the abdominal strength as you bring the arms overhead and you press those upper arms back. So feel like you lift with your shoulder blades. And this should give you you should be doing a lot of good work here in the quadriceps, in the bum muscles, the glutes, feeling it in the core, maybe getting warm, and feeling it around the shoulders. Hold this one. Imagine you're hanging onto a bar with your arms, and you're going to sit deeper, and you're going to get that stretch through the shoulders, through the whole length of the spine, into the tailbone, and then you're going to press up. Coming to balance on the balls of the feet again, with those arms reaching behind. Good. And you're going to press those arms back a little more for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Stay on the balls of the feet if you can. Bring the arms forward. And we're going to do a little squat. So bend the knees and press it back up nice and tall. Bend the knees and press it back up nice and tall. So the pelvis is staying right over the feet. The rib cage right over the pelvis. The head over everything else. Yeah. Hold this one down. Good, and I want you to lower the heels to the mat and pick them back up. Lower the heels, pick them back up. Just for 2 more. Do you have even weight across the balls of the feet? Of course you do. Hold it here with the heels up. Press it up nice and tall. Sink those heels. And just shake it out. Good. Before we come down, we're going to do one little balance exercise. It's also going to get us moving and strong in our legs. So let's reach the right leg back first. Your weight is over the left leg. It stays over the left leg. So you're hinged forward a little bit at the hips. You've reached back with the right leg. You're going to have the arms reached out in front here with the shoulders down away from the ears, the chest nice and wide. And as you breathe out, you're just going to come to a nice balance with the hands on the hips. Right? So reach it back and bring it forward. Reach it back and bring it forward. And we're going to try to do 4 more, with your goal being that you're really nice and steady over that supporting leg while everything else moves. You've got your long, lovely neutral spine. Is this our last one? Sure. Hold it here and turn that knee out to the side and bring it back to the front. Just for 4, where you keep the hips nice and still, but just a little work on that balance. Beautiful. Close it up here. Release that leg. Step back with the other leg. So your right leg's your supporting leg. Left leg is back. Hinged a little forward so the chest, the weight is over that front leg. Come up to your balance. Reach it back. Come up to your balance. Reach it back. That back leg, it has a presence on the mat, but it doesn't have your weight in it. You're really keeping the weight over that front leg. Yes, nice and centered. Hold this next one in your balance. And that knee is going to open out to the side without the pelvis moving. Just for 4. So 2 more. The tummy button stays facing forward. Both hip pointers stay facing forward. Close it up here. Release the leg. Walk back to the back of your mat. And take a nice breath in. On your out breath, nod the chin. Roll it forward. 1 bone of the back at a time. And then let's walk it out. So reaching ahead with that. Probably taking about 3 walks to come out. And level 2s here, you have an option. You can be in your tall plank, or you can always modify and be in your hover for this one. We're just going to be moving between the plank position and our pyramid. So when you're in your plank, you're drawing back with the abdominals, really pressing the rib cage away from the mat, being long onto the top of your head, and then lift the sit bones, sink the heels, raise the heels, feel that pelvic floor lift and the deep belly draw in as you move back to the tall plank or your hover. Always an option to modify if, the full plank is just a lot of, it's a long lever if you're tall especially. So you do what is comfortable in your spine. If you're not able to keep that neutral spine as you come forward into your tall plank, then you choose the hover. You still get all the great benefits of the exercise, right? But you don't have so much strain or potentially compression happening through the spine. Good. So we're going to do 1 more here, whichever version you're doing. Perfect. Holding either in the tall plank or the hover, or if you know push-ups are not your favorite thing for your body, drop the knees and unlock the elbows. I want the elbows to go a little bit out to the side, so back and out to the side, and press back up. Soften the elbows, don't let the chest drop yet. Then do the push-up and back up. Drop the chest only once you're in the movement of bending the elbows. So when the elbows first bend, it's almost like you're pressing the chest away from the mat more. Then you allow the motion to happen. How many more can we do? At least 2 more, right? 2. 1. Holding this one down and checking your form. How you doing? The abdominals are strong. The neck is relaxed. The shoulders are away from the ears. The shoulder blades are wide. Do a little mini one for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Oh, that's hard, eh? Press it up. If you're in the tall plank, drop the knees and enjoy a nice rock back into that shell stretch, child's pose. Leave the arms overhead if you want, just for a stretch of the shoulders at first. So wiggling the fingers forward, lowering the forehead to the mat. Feeling that length in the shoulders, and then if it feels comfortable, wrap the hands around by the feet When you breathe in, imagining that low spine reaching towards the sky. So that as you breathe out, you can sort of tuck the tailbone a little more, get the sit bones back towards the heels. And then rolling up to nice kneeling. On your next breath. And let's swing the legs around to the front of your mat. And drawing up tall with your sit bones as your foundation. Relaxing the shoulders, using the hands to support just for the first couple repetitions. And as you're ready, on your exhale, lift the pelvic floor, draw in with the belly, and feel the spine lengthen as you round the low back out behind and keep the shoulders over the hips. And then bring it back up to nice and tall. And exhale to do that again. And back up to nice and tall. Good. When you feel like you're warmed up and you have that support in the spine, then reach the arms forward, roll back, and continue to roll back a little further to your threshold, which is the tummy can still be drawn in. You still feel comfortable and long in your spine, and then you stay curved as you pull forward and restack. Exhaling to do it again. So draw back with that low back. Feel long in your spine as you peel back. And then pull forward. Restacking. Exhaling. To peel back. Holding this one back. Adjust the feet as you need to have the feet on the mat. The knees pressed together to have that inner thigh connection. And we're going to scissor the arms. So right arm overhead, left arm reaches towards the mat. And switch. So you're nice and open across the chest. You have the head in a position that's nice and elegant. Usually we have the tendency to put the head too far forward. That's not going to help you. And I want you to deepen into the curve just for your last two. Beautiful. And peel forward. Lift. Restack. Beautiful. And then supporting the hands behind you or on the thighs if you need to, coming down onto your back on the mat. Good. In that nice neutral pelvis, feet together, knees together. Float the arms up overhead, keep the shoulder blades nice and wide. Take a breath in to prepare, and on your out breath, let the right knee open out to the side. Keep that pelvis nice and level, and let the left arm reach out to the opposite side. Bring it back to the center, and switch. And the whole center of you is aiming to stay nice and still here. So the pelvis stays still, the spine stays still, the breastbone doesn't rotate as you move the arms. If you're tight in the front of the chest, you might have to work at holding that rib cage nice and still. And you're feeling, fairly mild, but you're feeling an oblique connection, hopefully, between the leg that's moving and the arm that's moving, and as they return to the center. So one more with the right. Beautiful. And one more with the left. Perfect. Pause. Both arms are in the air. Right leg to tabletop. Left leg joins it. Ready for your toe taps with the same arm reaching overhead. So if it's too much, always warm up with just the leg, but if you're ready, use that out breath to help you. Try to feel that pelvis not shifting at all, right? No matter if you're starting the movement, transitioning to bring it up. And for those of you who might be a little tight in the shoulders, or you like to move your rib cage, really feel that you hold that solar plexus, those low ribs back, right? Good. Let's change it up here. so that the right leg is straightening out and lowering, and the left arm, so opposite arm, is reaching overhead. And switch. If you're feeling good, switch in motion. If you're having an off day, then just make it a little more methodical. You can make the arm scissor bigger so the arms are almost reaching the mat. You should be feeling nice and strong there, eh? Good. One, and bring it in. Hug the knees in towards the chest just for a minute. Perfect, because I'd like to leave them there and do a nice reverse curl. So crossing the ankles if you want to give those hip flexors a little bit of relief. Otherwise, just in your tabletop position, warming up with that imprint and release. So you're in your lovely neutral spine, and on your out breath, gently imprinting to be in that gentle flat position with the low back, back to neutral. And your focus here is that the thighs aren't moving, right? The thighs are staying nice and still. It's the ability to move the low spine and pelvis without the legs joining you. Right? Then when you're feeling good there, move through your imprint, begin to scoop in and up with the low belly, with the abdominals, so that you can lift the tailbone, the back of the pelvis off the mat, and roll back down right to neutral. So you can start again with that imprint, getting the core really on in that moment, peeling up, peeling down. And you're not trying to use momentum, although it's tempting, because you'd really like to have the strength in those abdominals to do the peel up and to slow control down. You're going to have some weight in the arms, but you don't want to be lifting and tensing through the chest. So if you find yourself, ooh, then you're probably doing too much, too big of a movement with the low spine, and just make it smaller for now. We are going to give you a little challenge today. You can choose to accept or not, but see if you can hold the next one up. So just hovering, whatever part of the pelvis you can get off, maybe just the tailbone, maybe a little more of the pelvis. And I want you to keep the knees pressed together and turn them to the right. Back to center, to the right, back to center. Last time to the right, center it, release it if you need to. Come back up though and hold it. And then to the left, center, to the left, center, to the left, center, and peel it down. Everybody needs a challenge, right? Good. Hug the knees in if you need to. Good. And we're going to release the legs down into a nice long, straight leg position, I guess. Pelvis stays in neutral. We're going to bring the arms behind the head. And we're just going to do a little chest lift. So focusing really on our upper body organization today. So wide shoulder blades, wide collarbones, elbows out to the sides, but you can see them in your vision. Nice breath in to prepare. Let the weight of the head stay in the arms as you lift up. No movement through the pelvis, peel it back down. The legs stay heavy and rooted to the mat for now. And just challenge yourself to see if you can keep that neck nice and relaxed as you use the abdominals to lift and the strength of the arms to support that head and neck. Good. Holding this one up and lifting the right leg nice and straight. Pelvis stays level. Release it down. And left. And release. Good. And you don't have to lift it high. The critical moment is as you're leaving the mat and returning back down. It's those transitions. Good. Perfect. Peel it down once. Nice breath in. Peel it back up. Good. And then I want you to lift the right leg. And I want you to bend the knee in. A little rotation. Straighten the upper body out, release the leg. And we're going to do a repeater. We're going to do 2 more times. So lift the leg, bring it into tabletop, add your rotation in the upper body, release, and lower it down. Last time on this side, tabletop, pelvis is level, rotation, back to the center, release the leg, peel down with the upper body, and we'll do the other side. So lifting, staying nice and still with the upper body and the pelvis as the leg moves, lifts, moves to tabletop, rotate, center, release the leg. Lift, tabletop, rotate, center the upper body, release the leg. Last time. Tabletop, rotation, center, release the leg, peel it down, and just stretch those arms overhead. You can let the ribs pop here. It's the only time, but just to lengthen in the abdominals and feel good. Perfect. Good, and then we're just gonna end with a little bit on our front. So coming to be on your belly, with the head resting nicely in the hands, on the back of the hands. Shoulders are wide, shoulders are away from the ears. Take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to draw in with the abdominals and float the right leg just nice and straight and release it down. And exhale to switch. And release. So I have my toes turned out slightly today. It's what's feeling good in my hips. You can have the toes straight down and close together. Both are good versions, but just make sure, and you can do your self-check as always, that you're keeping that leg nice and straight and that the hip pointers are staying light away from the mat. So you shouldn't feel any change in the pressure of the fingertips or the bony hip pointers on the fingertips, I guess. Perfect. Good. Last one with the left. Beautiful. And another little final challenge. Tuck the toes underneath. The knees are bent. You feel the pelvis stay nice and still. And I want you to draw in with the low belly, stabilize, keep that pelvis where it is, and straighten the knees. All right? So if you can do that, great. If that alone is hard, then just stay at that point. Lower the knees. Good. If you can straighten the knees, so you have the flexibility, you have some ability to get in this position, and you want to test the strength, then you can point the toes, really trying to keep that back nice and still, and then lower both feet nice and even. We're going to listen to the timer because this is our last exercise. So tuck both toes. Nice breath in. Exhale, straighten the knees and feel those hip pointers stay nice and light. Feel the low back stay nice and still. And then if you can do that, then you can test yourself with the strength. Point both toes. The legs are floating, just hovering, and then release with control. And we'll do one more time. So tuck the toes, straighten the knees. Right? Feel that pubic bone stay rooted to the mat. The hip pointers stay light. Squeeze the bum muscles, draw in with the belly. Float both legs if you can. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. And control as you lower. Still no shift in that low back or pelvis. Beautiful. Good. Bring the hands underneath the rib cage and press it back to a nice, beautiful shell stretch position. Take your time where you've been in extension. Lower the head to the mat. Wrap the hands around by the feet. And just take a few beautiful breaths in. Filling that low rib cage, that low back with air. And when you're ready, using the arms for support or not, roll it up to nice kneeling. Beautiful. Take those arms overhead. And just do one nice, interlace the fingers and reach those hands towards, those palms towards the ceiling, nice and long through the side body. Breath in. Out, breath to release. Good. I won't make you listen to the timer any longer. Thanks for joining. That's it for this class, and I hope you enjoyed it. I felt pretty good there. So have a great day, and I will see you next time. Thanks.